I don't know if y'all can see this on the camera, but you can see every color in the rainbow right now. This is basically the sunrise. I'm not sure how good this is coming up. You're seeing that rainbow shit. Alright. What up, what up? You can't see the colors? You don't see that? You don't see this blue, green, yellow, red? You don't see the rainbow shit? Nah, yeah, excuse the camera. It's not the best camera in the world. But I know you can see that. Like, you can see the different colors. Just to give y'all a little glimpse of the sunrise. Peace, peace, peace. Well, let me turn this fucking camera around. What up, what up, what up? What's good, what's good, what's good? So, as always, this time I'm gonna do something a little different. I don't really have a message, per se. I'm just gonna express my thoughts. What's been going through my mind lately. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take up too much of y'all time. I know we all got shit to do. You know what I mean? We all got money to make, bills to pay. So, give me 1 second here. One second. All right. Now, it just came to my awareness, as I'm sure many of you who study, not who follow, who study, who's been looking into the future, who can have foresight into what will happen, what may happen, all these things. You know, just contemplating on reality, running numbers, going through your numerology, your astrology, so on and so forth. It's this thing called quantum computers or quantum computering, right? Now, yeah, I was gonna do a whole October 13th thing, but I'm like, everybody else is already doing that shit. I'm gonna do October 14th just to be original. You know what I mean? So, for everybody who knows about quantum computers or quantum computing, the basics of this is, if you understand binary code, right? The whole basis of quantum computers are, instead of using zeros and ones, which an average computer uses, you know, the computer you have right now, right, the D-Wave, yeah. See, motherfuckers is on the D-Wave quantum computer, right. Exactly, so look that up if you're not familiar. Just type in D-Wave quantum computer. You can get familiar with all this stuff. The basis is, instead of using zeros and ones for binary code, now they can use both zeros and ones simultaneously. And by doing that, it becomes a supercomputer or a quantum computer. Now, what does that have to do with all of us? The brain is a natural quantum computer already. What else? The universe, or reality as we see it, has computer code written in it. What does that mean? So reality isn't just a reality we see. We already know. Once you close your eyes, particles behave as waves, and waves can behave as particles. It can be either or. Meaning, a famous experiment is you put a cat in a box and put poison into the box and put a chemical in the box which will react to the poison. The cat is equally dead as equally as it is alive, and it's not until you actually look into the box that the reality becomes real. So the cat is equally dead and alive until we view it with our eyes or our consciousness. Not even our eyes, it's our consciousness. So what does all this mean in a nutshell, without going too deep, without bending our minds? Since reality has binary code written already in it, that means reality is more like a video game than anything else. What does that mean? In the more recent video games, they found a way to pack more space into the video games by only loading what you're looking at. What do I mean? You know, the famous Grand Theft Auto and even these high caliber games now, meaning the whole game isn't loaded up all at once. They only load what you're consciously aware of. You know, so if you're on one block, it's only going to load one block. It's not going to load the whole rest of the game. This enables them to put in more information as opposed to the whole game is loaded up at the same time like they used to do with the older games where the whole game is just there, whether you're looking at it, whether you're in a direction, the whole game is already preloaded. But since a game isn't preloaded like that, the information is there, right? But it's not loaded until you glance with it with your consciousness. What are the cheat codes? This is everything we talk about. This is why we had this type of information. This is why my channel exists. This is why various people who talk about all this stuff. The cheat codes is your spirituality. Now, what do I mean? And I don't mean that in a basic way. Holographic Universe, definitely read the book Holographic Universe, which is a very scientific book. It's not a spiritual book, it's a scientific book. So those who are into science and who want hardcore facts, who don't really want to get into the bullshit, read the Holographic Universe. It came out in the 90s, and again, just look on the internet. You can download the PDF. You ain't got to pay no money unless you want a physical copy. So there's no excuse not to know this type of information, because all this quantum mechanics and quantum physics, the only thing that is clarifying is the ancients are right. That's all it is. That's all it's really doing. This information has always been known, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. It's always been known. People, this is the natural thought of man and woman. This is how we naturally think because we understand this. Because we are in the times where most people don't observe nature, you don't really see the reality, right? This is what you got to do, or this is what they are doing. They have to build computers to influence the quantum reality. We can do it naturally with our mind. We don't have to build a giant computer called the D-Wave quantum computer to have an effect on reality. Now, those who are into the Mandela effect know exactly what I'm talking about. Shit can change. How is that possible? How can something like the Mandela effect even be real? It's because reality has computer code already written in it, which means it can be programmed. That's why we always talk about programming your DNA, programming your reality, yada, 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 right? We've been hearing this shit for years, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years now, right? None of this stuff is new. It's just coming back full circle, right? Everybody it's like 100 Mandela effects. You know, that's been people that just observe. Even in my own personal reality, I'm like, what the fuck is this? However, yeah, shit like CERN, D-Wave, quantum mechanics, all these things, right? So what does this have to do with us? This is why your spirituality is the most important thing you have. Because it's your spirituality that gives you influence or being able to reprogram your reality to fit whatever it is that you want to perceive with your consciousness. Give me 1 second here. So I got this music in my ear. It's just helping me flow. Because again, I don't know what the title is. This is just my thoughts. Currently, this is what I've been meditating on. And again, this is not something that I'm trying to profit from, none of this shit. I'm just sharing the information so everybody can get on their shit. Simple as that. Now, what's the next thing? If we understand reality can be programmed, this is no longer a theory, this is no longer some speculation, it's no longer superstition, it's no longer an outaged or outdated thought process. This is real shit, and they're just scratching the surface. They don't even fully understand. By they, I mean scientists, quantum physicists or physicists. They don't even truly understand it because they're still dealing with the outside view. They're still dealing with what you can observe. When you go into your mind, you're dealing with what's going on within. See, the difference between the scientists and modern reality and modern day physics and science and all this stuff is they just deal with what can be seen and what can be observed. The scientific method, it has to be observable, repeatable, so on and so forth. There's a process that you have to be able to observe it, repeat it, test it out, so on and so forth. If it doesn't follow those scientific methods, it's called pseudoscience. However, most things that's considered pseudoscience, such as numerology, astrology, palm reading, divination, so on, tarot reading, so on and so forth, all this is considered pseudoscience because it doesn't follow the scientific method. But because we understand quantum mechanics and quantum physics, we understand that the scientific method is only dealing with observable reality. It's not dealing with what's really going on the quantum level. This is why quantum mechanics blows your mind if you're into it, and blows the scientist's mind, because it's like you don't really know what's going on. It's like it's a bunch of information that you can't really predict. See, science, modern day science, modern science, and modern age has a fixation on being able to control reality. So they want to be able to understand what's going on, right? The double slit experience, definitely. Not experience, experiment. Look up the double slit experiment. That's when you have two openings, right? And you shoot particles through these openings. And depending on if you're looking at it or not, it's going to produce a certain type of pattern. So that's telling us right there that our consciousness rules reality. But we already know that, right? It's not something that we don't already know. However, we have to take it full circle. It's not enough to know the spiritual information. You got to back it up with the scientific information. When you back it up with the scientific information, now it's full circle. Now it ain't just, oh, this is what you think or what you believe. Now you can direct people to sources. You can direct people to facts. You can direct people to what's actually going on in quantum computers, and they're using this information to build technology. So this is not just a theory. This is what they're actually using, and they're actually having an effect on reality, right? We're doing the same thing every day. Every day you wake up and you perceive reality, it is a program that is being emitted from the subconscious mind. What program has been emitted from the subconscious mind? The program that's been emitted from the subconscious mind is based on your internal programming, which you have been programming since you've been birthed. So just look at it this way. Ever since you've been on this planet, out of your mother's womb, you have been getting programmed. And that programming has shaped and molded your reality. It's put you in a box, right? Just like in the Matrix. The point was to make everybody a battery, to make everybody just food for the higher ups, right? The Fibonacci sequence, absolutely. Fibonacci, sacred geometry, the golden ratio, so on and so forth, right? All these things, that's why symbols. One of the things that program the subconscious mind is symbols. This is why symbols are so important, not just external symbols, but symbols that you create yourself. Symbols are important because they reprogram the subconscious mind with a certain type of thought. Symbols or sacred geometry are calculations, right? Mathematical equations, since we're speaking scientifically now. Symbols are mathematical equations that get you in touch with your own personal quantum computer, which has an effect on your outside reality. For example, which is why I tell people to work with Baphomet, the so-called devil. Not because it's evil, not because it's a bad thing, not because it's sinister, not because it's chaos, it's because for you to see the effect it has on you. It's easy to put a picture of Jesus up on your fucking wall, which has already been there if you're a Christian, or Muhammad if you're a Muslim, or whatever, or symbols or whatever. You need to put something up. You need to put something in your reality that you're not used to seeing, that you're not used to dealing with, not something that you're already familiar with, right? And this is why the New Age movement and all these love and light people, you don't really see effects, because that doesn't challenge you. It's a good idea to think that You know, we should be in world peace, so on and so forth, right? You said the connection is bad? Hold on, okay. Is anybody having any friction? I'm not getting a bad connection over here. Is anybody any is the sound good? What's going on here? Let me see. Make sure everything is good. It's better now, the connection is good. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. All right, well, everybody saying the connection is good, so I'm not sure what's going on. You may have to just, exit out, come back in. It should be better, right? Oh, the screen was flickering. It's good. It's good. Okay. All right, as long as everybody can hear me and get the message. So if the video wants to stutter and not do all that shit, don't worry about it. We don't care about this video. We don't care about the physical. As long as you are hearing the information, and it is what it is. Give me 1 second here. We're going to get right back to it. Okay. So if we understand, because like I was saying, this is why the New Age movement doesn't challenge you. This is why it doesn't work for most people. This is also why everybody who's into this money shit, who's just trying to accumulate a bunch of money and physical resources, it doesn't work for them either. We'll give y'all all this shit. As you see, the sun is starting to come up now. Let me see if y'all can see a better image of these colors now. Give me 1 second. Let me flip the camera around. All right. So hopefully you can see the colors better now. It's a little bit more vibrant. So you see the whole rainbow. Right? See the freeway. Vegas is waking up. So just giving y'all some visuals. You see the mountains in the background, so on and so forth. Right? Then you can still see the moon. That's the moon right there. You can still see the moon. All right. Let's get back to it. Turn this camera around. All right. Now, getting back to it. This is why the New Age movement, all this love and light shit, it's a good thought, right? Shout out to South Carolina, and I see you, man. It's a good thought, but it doesn't challenge you. Saying that we want the world to be all love and light, it doesn't challenge you. What's going to challenge you is seeing some evil, wicked shit, because that's what hurts people's heart, right? You're not moved. If somebody was doing charity in your town, helping the people, giving out food to the homeless, that's cool, right? You're going to say that person's a good person, have a good mind, good spirit, so on and so forth. But it doesn't challenge you. We are here to be challenged. We're not here to just do more feel-good shit. That's the difference. You're here to challenge yourself. You're here to put an image up of the devil in your fucking house and see if the shit doesn't challenge you, even if you're not afraid of it. But it's what it's doing to your subconscious. It's going to make you feel very uncomfortable. And that's what I mean. It's going to challenge you. It's going to probably even make you want to take it down. Like, yo, just the energy that's radiating off this image isn't really resonating with my energy. That's how you would feel. But people take that as that's not a good thing. Actually, it's a great thing because you want to be around things that don't resonate with you. That's a different thing, right? We're going to go into something else, right? A lot of spiritual people don't want to be around shit that don't resonate with them or negativity and all that, right? They want to be around like-minded people doing like-minded shit. Incorrect. Because it doesn't challenge you. What do I mean? If you got somebody agreeing with everything you're saying, how is that challenging you? You're just speaking to people that just agree with everything you're saying. Like, oh yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Yep. It doesn't challenge you. You need to speak to people who don't understand your point of view, right? You need to be around people that don't understand what you're into and talk to them. Talk to people who have a different perspective of life. That's how you expand. You don't expand by being around the same group of motherfuckers who's talking about the same shit, doing the same thing. You need to expand. Because if you see things from other people's point of view, you would see that, okay, it's not that the world is stupid. It's not that people are dumb. It's not that people don't want to pay attention. It's just that people have their root and their foundation intact. So if they came up Christian or they came up religious, then they're going to hold that reality down. So it's not to separate yourself from the religious person. It's for you to understand, okay, they're not saying the universe. They're just saying Jesus. They're not saying the mind. They're just saying God. They're not, it's different terminology, but when things do happen that are favorable to them, they blame Jesus or God or Allah or whoever the fuck, right? But it's the same thing. It's just different terminology. So this is what I'm saying. We don't supposed to get caught up in being comfortable with what we know and around a group of people that we are into or the type of information. That's why if you look at my older videos from years back, I'm not talking about the same shit because I had to expand. Now I could have easily been somebody still talking about twin flames, still talking about all the stuff I used to talk about, right? But I had to become more scientific so that I can reach a wider audience to let motherfuckers know that it don't just stop with the spirituality. We can combine this shit with science and it still makes sense. Whereas some people would think, all right, if you start studying science or mathematics or engineering or technology, that is going to negate your spirituality, but it should empower your spirituality because now you have a broader vocabulary and you can make more sense and it becomes full spectrum. Simple shit, right? Let's go over here. This is why you have a wide group of friends. So you had to have a scientist on your team, somebody who understands engineering, somebody who understands technology, and somebody who understands mathematics. They call that the STEM, right? You need all these motherfuckers in your circle. Then you need the spiritual person. Then you need the Dark Lord. You need all these motherfuckers. You need the bad bitch, you need the hoe, and you need the saint. You need all of them. You need everybody. Don't negate nobody because everybody serves a purpose. Sometimes you need to hear a left-brained person who's just all logic to better understand logic, not to get too caught up with the right brain, right? This is why I give praises to everybody in the underworld as well as everybody who's on their spiritual path. I don't favor one path over the other. That's why I talk about everything from witchcraft all the way from meditation and doing basic shit, right? You need all of it. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm saying all this to say, don't remove yourself from certain groups and certain situations and certain people just because there may be a difference there. Because if you speak the right language, you should be able to speak to anybody, right? You shouldn't get into arguments. Maybe debates. You should not be afraid of debates. You need somebody to challenge your information. You need somebody to challenge you, not somebody to agree with you. You need somebody to challenge, like, yo, what do you mean by that? What's the definition of that? You need somebody to really pick your brain to see how much you really know. You're not going to know how much you really know until somebody challenges you. Now, where did you get that? Where did you source this? Right? Without challenge, there's no growth. You need to grow. So that's why I'm going more into science and all this stuff. I didn't give a fuck about none of this shit. When I first found spirituality, I didn't give a fuck about quantum mechanics, quantum physics, didn't know about any of this stuff. I didn't think science validated spirituality when I first got into spirituality. I thought science was over here and spirituality was over there. I didn't know that they actually mesh well. They merge well together if you have a certain mindset. Now, this does not mean that most scientists today agree with spiritual people, because they don't. Most scientists do not agree with the New Age movement, with spiritual people, with spirituality. They don't agree with it. So I'm not saying that the scientists agree with it, and the New Agers and the New Age people and the spiritual people don't necessarily agree with the scientists. So I'm not talking about the actual people. I'm just talking about the information. The information is debatable, right? Science and spirituality, there is no difference, but everybody will have their own perspective. What do I mean? This is why information is intangible. This is why I say that information is intangible, meaning it's not physical. It doesn't have a pure form. It's like water, it's formless. Information is formless. You shape and mold it, you give it shape and you give it life when you speak it and when you live it out. That's when it becomes real, right? What up, what up, what up? It becomes real when you speak it, when you think it, and when you live it out. That's what makes something real, not because it's an actual thought in the universe. You have to live it out. That's what makes it real. You can't be spiritual if you're not living out a spiritual path. Now, does a spiritual path mean that you a Jedi and you travel the world with a fucking lightsaber? Peace, peace, peace. No. A basic definition of spirituality is dealing with the spirit. What is the spirit? Dealing with the ether. What is the ether? Dealing with the melanin. I already been through all this, right? Dealing directly with your quantum computer, your mind. That's spirituality in a nutshell, right? You are creating your own reality because you are reprogramming your mind from all the bullshit. You are taking control of your reality. You are the god of your own realm. And everybody else is a god of their own realm. Simple as that. You just take control and you take responsibility of yourself. You can't blame nobody else. There is no, the government did this, the government did that. This is also why you don't hear me talking about government conspiracies and all that shit. Because I'm like, it's one way or the other. Either the government fucking with you or you not putting in work. Which one is it? Right? Peace, peace, peace. Which one is it? Is the government all powerful or is the mind all powerful? Which one is it? And this is what I mean. We have to challenge ourselves. Right? You look at all these other motherfuckers' channels, either they promoting hate, they're promoting fear, or they on complete bullshit. What do I mean by that? You have motherfuckers who, peace, peace, peace. You have motherfuckers who constantly talk about the problem but give no solution. Right? Every day the government doing this, they all into the conspiracy theories. The government killed this person. The government got the chemtrails. The government doing this. The government is poisoning the water. The government got the fluoride. The government is calcifying your third eye. The government is doing this. The government is doing this. The government, you just on the government's dick. Right? Let's just be real. Have no solutions. What the fuck you gonna do about chemtrails? What, do you have the power? Right? If you don't have the power to change any of this stuff, why bother? Right? Why talk about this shit? Why talk about fear, hate, and confusion without a solution? But that's what people do, right? Why do people do that? Is because they don't understand what's really going on. They don't understand that reality is a quantum computer, just like your mind, just like these computers that's being built, and you actually have influence. We all have a moment in our life where we know this to be a fact. You know it to be a fact, right? Whenever something went your way, exactly the way you thought about it, then you knew the shit was real. I can tell you, or all of you, I can tell all of you the moment where this shit really hit the fan for me, but it's fucking disgusting. So maybe I'll leave that to myself. It's not very glorious, right? I'll tell you anyway. So I'm not just gonna fucking have you in suspense. But you may not like it. Give me 1 second. All right. So back in the day, right? Back in the day. Actually, no, this was earlier this year. It's not back in the day. All right. All right. So I'm walking. Okay. I'll give you a quick example of when it made sense to me. You're not gonna like it though. All right. I'm in LA. Walking the streets as I usually do. If my eyes seem low, it's because I'm still tired. I just woke up. But I had the perfect solution. I got the fireball, right? If you don't fuck with the fireball, this helps bring out your fucking demons. Let me take a sip. You know what I mean? You see, before I get into the story, let me take a quick sip. Charge up. We about to sip on the holy water. You know what I mean? This is what happened when you just hit the record button and you don't have a script. All right? Give me 1 second. So shout out to the Fireball. You know what I mean? But if you already fuck with me, you know about the Fireball. I've been talking about this Fireball since the Facebook Lives. You know what I mean? You're glad I'm not a puppet. I don't know what kind of statement that is. Give me 1 second. Let me put the top back on this. All right, here we go. Okay. Now, earlier this year, I'm walking the streets of LA. All right? This is what I do. I like to travel the cities, and I like to travel the city. That's just what I do. So it don't matter where I'm in New York, LA, down south, up north. I like to travel the city on foot as well. I just like to walk around, see what the fuck is going on. So on a certain particular day, I'm having very wicked thoughts, right? So I'm saying to myself, smoking weed, of course. I'm in a trance state. I'm like, there's a lot of shit that goes on in the streets, as we all know. Well, some of us know. So I thought about what would be the most ridiculous thing I could possibly see in the streets that would just blow my mind. I was thinking to myself, what would be the most ridiculous thing for me to actually see? I'd be like, no, there's no way that shit could have happened without me thinking about that. So I went through all these things. I'm like, the most ridiculous thing I would probably see, I was like, all right, I would have to see a woman's pussy. I said this. I'm like, okay, it's a lot going on, but that's something you don't really see. Well, I don't really see. You know, you see motherfuckers, you know, on drugs, you see people roaming the streets, whatever, but you don't really see a motherfucker naked. It happens, but it's rare. But again, I'm not in every city, so I can't speak for every city, right? Told you you're not gonna like it, but this is my thought. I'm like, the most ridiculous thing I can see is a bitch's pussy in the streets. Because if I see that shit, then this shit real. This clarifies everything that I've been studying, everything that I've been feeling, everything that I've been seeing. That will clarify. If I see a motherfucker's pussy in the streets, then that's it. Before I made it to the end of the block, like this is real shit. This shit is funny, but it's real shit. Before I made it, all right, this is what it was. I'm staying at a hotel. Well, this is not supposed to be funny. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth, right? Okay. I'm staying in the hotel. You can't smoke in the room, right? You can't smoke in the room. So instead of me being disrespectful doing it anyway, I'm like, all right, let me roll my shit up. Let me walk down the block, because I don't want to just stand outside of the business. Let me walk down the block, smoke my shit, go back to the room. Simple shit, right? So on my way, walking down the block, I reach the end of the block, I'm thinking these thoughts that I just expressed, right? So, when I get back to the end of the block, it's these two tents. You know, it's homeless people. It's tents. It's two tents. Now, I passed these two tents before I even went down the block, but I didn't pay no attention to it because I'm just smoking. I come back down, there's a man standing outside of the tent, looking into the tent, right? He stops me. This is how I know it was spiritual. Because I wasn't in nobody's business. I'm just walking. He stops me. He literally stops me. And he tells me to look into the fucking tent. He tells me to look into the tent. I'm trying to get back to the fucking hotel. I look into the tent and guess what the fuck I see? I don't have to tell you, right? I see a fucking bitch's pussy. It's not that we invading her privacy. It's not that. It's not that because it was like she could have, you know how they zip the shit up? You could have zipped the shit up and nobody would see anything, right? So she had her privacy, but she's not doing the shit. She has the fucking shit open so that anybody who's walking past can easily see what the fuck is going on. So obviously she's not trying to hide it. I don't just see fucking pussy. She's playing with it. She has a little vibrator and shit. I know this is getting pretty explicit, but I'm just letting you know. Because of this situation, my mind was reprogrammed. Spirals. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm walking down the street smoking a blunt, thinking about what's the most ridiculous shit I can see. Oh, she definitely was a prostitute. No doubt about that. But I didn't expect to see that shit. But what made it real to me is because I'm like, yo, 5 minutes before I seen it, I was thinking about it in my mind. So if I would have just seen that normally without thinking about it, then it would have been different. Like, oh shit, somebody's just playing with their pussy. Okay, whatever. Shit happens. But I was thinking about this shit 5 minutes before I saw it. And I wouldn't have looked in the tent. It's because it's a motherfucker telling me, hey, yo, look, do you see what I'm seeing? Right? So the fact that it happened 5 minutes after I'm thinking about it, which was completely unrelated, I didn't know nothing about that woman or that man. I didn't see neither one of them. So the fact that that happened within 5 minutes of me thinking that, I'm like, all right, this is a goddamn computer stimulation, right? Right? Now, I know I'm not the only one this happened to. I'm pretty sure most people have had this experience to a certain degree, whether how small or how big it is, right? A small version of this would be, for me, I was thinking about breadsticks. The type of breadsticks you get from Little Caesars or whatever, right? One day I'm thinking about breadsticks. I'm just thinking about breadsticks. Or I'm just thinking about it, whatever. You know, later on that day, somebody asked me, hey, we're going to Little Caesars. Do you want some fucking breadsticks? Of course I obliged because I'm thinking about breadsticks, right? So, I read a comment that I'm not going to read. I'm not going to say that. I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Anyway, y'all be wilding in these comments. I don't know. I'm like, who the fuck is up this early talking like this, right? Hold on. You can actually see let me see if you can see the sun. Let me see if I can show y'all the sun. All right. So we get a little glimpse of the sunrise. All right. Just want to give y'all some visuals here so it ain't just all information. All right. Let's turn the camera around. Turn this around. All right. The crazy thing is, though, in New York or the East Coast, it's 9 a.m. It's already 9 a.m. Motherfuckers is already doing their thing. Motherfuckers is already been up. The sun is just rising over here, though. Right? It's weird shit. Anyway, let's get back on point. So I done had this happen to me several times where I'm thinking about something and now it didn't happen that quick. Right? That shit happened within 5 minutes. Sometimes it took a couple hours. Sometimes it took a couple days. Sometimes it took months. Sometimes it took years, right? However, but the fact that that shit happens, the fact that it actually has the ability to happen at all, lets us know that reality is a computer program or a computer stimulation that's written in binary code that can be reprogrammed with our quantum computer. Right? So the same thing we've all been saying anyway, you create your reality, law of attraction. We've already been saying this stuff. But now we can use scientific terms to express the same idea. Right? Let me let y'all see these other visuals real fast. So you see over here is mountains, right? This is where the sun sets. Yo, what up? Yeah, we live. And we done been on this motherfucker 40 minutes. So just give y'all a 360. It's real fast. Alright. Alright, let's turn this camera back around. Let's get back to it. Alright. Do I need to say more? Subliminally recording your voice? Absolutely. That's a technique. I think I said that, what video was that? How to manifest instantly. I said record your own voice and play that shit in your sleep. Record your own voice. Record your own voice saying whatever the fuck you saying. I am God. I attract money. I create money. I'm a bad bitch magnet. Whatever the fuck. Use your language. Don't try to be proper with it because it doesn't work when you try to be something you're not. So, I had to be ruthless. What up? What up? What up? The reason why I'm so ruthless is because I have to be. Right? I have to be ruthless because motherfuckers wouldn't listen if I wasn't. If I was speaking proper, motherfuckers wouldn't listen. But there's a lot of motherfuckers who's speaking proper. I listen to people who speak proper, but I know I couldn't do it because I can't do it. I have to speak ruthless. But if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, right? If I can see some shit like that, I can pretty sure motherfuckers can see something that's less extreme than that, right? You can see something that's less extreme. You don't have to see something that extreme. Because I know everybody doesn't walk around looking to find shit like that. But, I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else about the streets for those who may not know. Or the hood. The streets, the hood, the block, or whatever you want to call it, right? Why are people so drawn to the streets? What is it about the streets? What is it about the hood? What is it about the fast money, the whatever, right? It's because you can create your own reality. What do I mean? It's stuff that you see in the hood that you won't see anywhere else. Right? What do I mean? Let's make this plain and clear. I gotta kind of keep walking because it is cold. It may look like it's warm, but it's kind of cold out here. So let me keep it moving. Okay, now you take a seat over here real fast. I know I said I'm not gonna take up a lot of time, but it's almost a fucking hour, so I might as well just make it an hour. We're talking another 15 minutes, we get the fuck up out of here. Let me have a seat over here. So anyway, getting back to my point. People are drawn to the streets because you can do things in the streets that you can't do anywhere else. Because of this reason, why the fuck would you want to be anywhere else? For example, let me give you an example. That's why you see, no matter how successful somebody becomes, they always go back to the streets. Not back to live, but back to visit, back to see what's going on, taking care of their people, seeing what's going on, whatever. Because there's something about the streets. The streets is mysterious. The streets is Elegba. The streets is Zarabanda. The streets is Mercury. Whatever you want to call it, spirit, the ether, whatever. Your reality manifests at a more rapid rate when you're in the streets. That's why things happen faster. Fast money, fast women, fast dudes, whatever. Reality manifests faster when you're in the streets. It just is what it is. Why is that? Is because it's the streets. The streets is what pathways, it's crossroads, it's gateways into what? Different dimensions. Give me 1 second here. So what do I mean? If you're in the streets, because you gotta, whether you're going to work, walking to work, on the bus, in your car, whatever, whatever. So it doesn't mean, I'm not saying you're doing anything in the streets, just the streets in general. When you're in the streets, reality manifests quickly. For everybody who played Grand Theft Auto 5, or seen somebody played it, or in reality, whatever, whatever, because we're talking about quantum mechanics. If you drive your car on Grand Theft Auto super fast, so I'll give you a comparison to the old Grand Theft Auto to the new one. And the old Grand Theft Autos, you can drive your car as fast as you want to, and you will never crash because you can evade certain shit, right? You can evade certain, collisions, right? You can navigate past things. And the newest Grand Theft Auto, you can be going as fast as you want, but there's always going to be a car eventually at some point that's going to be coming, that's going to collide with you, because that's just the quantum mechanics of the game. What is a quantum computer? A quantum computer is a computer that can think for itself and that can program or create new programs. What do I mean? So with the example of Grand Theft Auto, you can be driving your car super fast, and the quantum computer within the game is going to generate another car that's going to come and collide into your ass exactly at that moment you hit that crossroads. That's the quantum computer thinking for itself. And the old Grand Theft Autos, it didn't work like that. Everything was already pre-made, so you can just easily navigate through stuff. But now, because you can walk into random events, again, you play Grand Theft Auto, you can just be doing whatever you're doing in a random event. Somebody gets their purse snatched, somebody steals somebody's car, whatever, and you have the option to help them if you want to, right? You got all these random events that are constantly happening all around you that makes everybody's individual experience playing the game different. Whereas if it was another game, everybody's experience would be the same. But since technology is so advanced now, everybody's experience is unique because you have computers within these video games thinking for themselves. That's actually what created video games, is quantum physics. When people discovered quantum physics, that's when video games started to come about. That's why when you listen to that old school 80s video game music, just like listen to the Sonic music, the Sega Genesis Sonic music, that techno music, that electro funk, that old school hip hop shit, that rapid fire shit, or just go to New York and just feel the vibe of the city. Now, if these quantum computers can think for themselves and create random events, is that not what happens all around us? You can be walking down the street, driving down the street, in the streets, doing whatever it is that you're doing, and there's going to be some type of random event that happens that only you see. See, that's the thing. There's a reason why you see certain events throughout your day. There's a reason for it. Just like last time. I'll tell y'all what happened last time. When I did my last video, whatever the fuck it's called, I don't even know what it's called. When I did my last video, 20 minutes after I did my last video, there was a blackout. Vegas had a blackout. It's like a week ago. Literally, I tried to make a video about it, but I had to delete it because it's like everything got shut down. I couldn't use the Wi-Fi. I couldn't use the 4G, and my phone died. Like everything just completely shut down. So 20 minutes after I did my last video on my way back home, there literally was a fucking blackout. You couldn't see nothing. No street lights. Right? No street lights, nothing. I tried to make a live stream about it. Like, yo, I was just showing, like, yo, you don't see no lights around me. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning, right? So about for 2 hours, there was no lights from like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. For 2 whole hours, no gas stations. You couldn't get gas. You couldn't fucking buy a goddamn blow pop if you wanted to. You couldn't do anything. No cashiers, no technology. Nothing is working. Right? So I said to myself, I'm supposed to be at home sleep right now. I just decided to get the fuck up, make a video, do whatever I'm doing. So the fact that I'm actually outside and this shit happens, because I could have easily been inside the house and the shit happens and it just would have been that. So the fact that I actually observed the blackout happen, because I'm outside where nobody else is really outside, the fact that I actually seen it happen just let me know, I'm like, maybe I had something to do with this shit. Or if I didn't have something to do with it, there's a reason why I'm observing it. And why I'm not at my house, why I'm not somewhere else, and why I'm not doing something else. There's a reason why I seen it. So there's a reason why we all see what we see. It may seem random, but it actually isn't. Just like I gave the example of you driving this fast car in Grand Theft Auto, then there's going to be another car that's going to sideswap you. Guaranteed. It will never fail, right? So, even though things seem random, they're actually not random. There are things that we are constantly creating. Because the mind doesn't never stop. The mind doesn't stop when you sleep. It doesn't stop when you're not thinking, where you're not constantly thinking. The mind is always doing this thing, right? So the mind is generating all this shit. All this shit is being generated by the subconscious, by the unconscious, by the collective conscious, so on and so forth. The superconscious, your God conscious, whatever you want to call it. So we have the matrix, right? Do I see energy? Absolutely, I see energy. I'm pretty sure we all. It's like you see, just look up in the sky. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera, so I'm not even going to try to show it. So look up in the sky, and you should see little particles sparkling in it. You should see little specks of light in the sky, whether it's daytime or nighttime. But I've always been seeing this shit. I know I'm not the only one that see that shit. Just look up in the sky, you're going to see particles. Yeah, you see it too, yes. It's just that's energy flickering. Flickers of electrons, right? Electrons. Do I know about the dawn of the eighth sun? Absolutely not. I have no idea the dawn of the eighth sun. But I will know it by the time this video is finished. Let me walk over here. So we're going to be on here a few more minutes. I think I got my point across. But we're going to finish up this fireball. So give me 1 second. Oh, the sixth sun? No, I have no idea. I'll definitely look into it, though. I'll look into it, I'll guarantee that. Because I've never even heard that. Right? But this is what happened when you just hit the record button and you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. This is why I structure my videos the way I structure my videos. Just in case y'all didn't know. I structure my video. This is what if y'all want to know what goes on behind the scenes, which it ain't really nothing that's going on behind the scenes because all I do is hit the record button. So if you know why the shit is so chaotic, because I don't pre-think. I don't pre-think my videos. I used to, but I don't pre-think my videos. That's why I said I don't even know what the title is to this. I don't know what the title. I might not even ever title this video. Just gonna say I'll title this shit later, and I never title it. So all the titles you see in my recent, basically ever since I've been live streaming, I'll say that ever since I've been live streaming, I've been live streaming since about May. May, I think. I don't know. But ever since I've been live streaming, I just think of a title. I think of something, all right, whatever the title is, and I just flow. I don't premeditate anything. No script. But the reason I do that is because if I try to script it, I'm going to stick to the script. And if you are trying to stick to the script, that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Right? Who do I channel? Well, right now I'm channeling this fucking fireball. This motherfucking demonic spirit, that's who I'm channeling right now. I'm fucking channeling these demons. But they like to come out and play. Anyway, I wouldn't even say that I'm channeling somebody. But I'm just giving y'all some behind the scenes shit. So if y'all want to know the secret formula, but I'm not gonna say it's because I've been doing this shit for 10 years. I know I may look young in my face, but I'm old as fuck. I was talking about this shit before it was popping. I'm just still here. So I like to say I'm a living example of how real this information is. I'm still here after 10 years, and this shit is still relevant. This just wasn't no shit a phase that I went through in life. This is some shit that I've been doing since I was 16. I'm 26. I'm still doing this shit. I'm still into the information, right? Somebody asked how old I am. I just revealed my age. I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. But 26. Been doing this shit since I was 16. So I may look young in my face, but that's just in my face, right? Somebody said they glad I didn't go to Job Corps. Let's talk about parallel realities before we get out of here, right? Somebody said they thought I was 23. Well, yeah, I look younger, but that's because the type of information you're into influences the way you look. In case you didn't know. The reason I look the way I look is because of the type of information I intake. I want to keep it real. If I wasn't into spirituality, I wouldn't look like this. I would look probably like I'm 35 because I would probably be stressed out about some shit, about trying to pay bills or some shit. You know what I mean? I would be on some other shit. I wouldn't look the way I look. You know? But I'm getting younger. I'm not getting older. I'm getting younger. This alcohol gets you younger. All right? But let's talk about parallel universes and we'll get up out of here. So we're going to end on parallel universes because somebody said they happy I didn't go to Job Corps, right? Black don't crack. That's definitely that melanin. When you in tune with the melanin, but that's water. The key to life is water. I'll give y'all that quick jewel. If you want to look younger, you want to have more energy, you want to, vitality, all that stuff, just drink more water. Drink a gallon of water a day. Drink a whole fucking gallon of water a day. Drink a whole gallon of water a day. Do it for a week, and you're going to see improvements. Same thing as that. So again, give me 1 second. We're going to go into these parallel realities, and we're going to get up out of here. All right? 1 second. All right. Like I said, I still got music playing in the headphones, because again, I'm just flowing off the top. Straight. I'm just freestyling right now, right? You only have tap water, should you drink? Absolutely. What up? See, for everybody, if you freeze your water, put your water in the freezer, right? If you don't have sufficient water, you ain't trying to spend all your money on all these water bottles. Either, spend the 30 cents and get your water refilled. Buy the gallon of water and get it refilled. Costs like 30 cents to keep refilling it. But if you can't do that, if you just have to drink tap water, just make sure you freeze it first. Not all the way frozen, but make sure the water gets very, very cold. So when you drink it, you're not tasting all those chemicals and shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean, right? Most bottled waters and all that isn't clean anyway, and that's what I mean. What's gonna make the shit effective is you. You gotta put the thought into it to make it effective. So it's not just the water in and of itself. Program your water, right? Absolutely. You can absolutely boil it too. What up, family? You can freeze or boil your water. Freeze it or boil it. Destroys all the chemicals, right? Simple as that. So let's get into these parallel realities. What is that? Parallel realities is basically, like I was saying about the rabbit being equally dead and equally alive if you put it in a box. It's the same thing with us. There's a reality that I actually did go to Job Corps. You know, for those who don't know what that is, meaning before I went to LA, I was supposed to go to Job Corps, but it ended up not happening because I ended up pretty much manifesting myself to LA, and that's when the whole LA saga happened. But had that not happened, I would have went to Job Corps. But there is a reality that do exist that I actually did go to Job Corps. There's a reality that exists that I went somewhere else. We all have these multiple realities always planned out. So there's a reality right now that I actually didn't get up and make this video. I'm still in bed, sleep, enjoying my fucking dream somewhere. There's a reality of me actually doing that. And this reality is I'm actually up in the morning making these videos, speaking to the people. So what is that? A perfect example of alternative realities. Because right, I know the next question was going to be, can you access the parallel universes? And I give you an example of how I access the parallel universe or reality. I gave this example before, but I'll give it here briefly right now. I was having these dreams. And again, I told the story before, but for those who didn't hear it, I'll reiterate it right now. Right? I had a dream where I was doing graffiti. And I was painting, not painting, or I guess you can call it painting, but I was spray painting solo on the back of walls. SOLO. That's what I was doing. So I was having a dream. I'm just spray painting solo on, random places. The solo. SOLO. I had a dream. That's what I was doing. Right? So I decided, what the fuck would happen if I actually started doing this shit? Let me actually start doing graffiti. Just to see what the fuck happens. So when I actually started doing it, I started doing exactly what I saw myself doing in my dreams. It turned into something that I couldn't have even imagined. What do I mean by that? Well, the first thing was I ended up going to LA for that exact purpose. Because this is what happened. I didn't have nothing. This is what I'm saying. So this is years back. This is a time where I didn't have no money in my pocket, didn't have no direction, didn't have anything, right? But I'm like, all right, I'm about to start doing what I saw myself doing in my dreams. Didn't have a place to stay, didn't have a direction. All I knew, I just had a desire. That's all I did is had a desire. And from that desire, I end up meeting, shout out to Alejandro, shout out to the homie. End up meeting my homie Alejandro, or re-meeting, I already knew him. I ended up running into one of my previous co-workers, and we just tore the whole city up. We went all around LA doing graffiti. You know what I mean? And from that, in the midst of doing all these things, we having the spiritual conversations. We traveling all around the city. We meeting all type of people, so on and so forth. We're doing all these things that neither one of us was doing previous, and we end up having access to a whole different reality. We saw the moon moving and all that shit. Like, the shit was crazy. Like, you're literally looking at the moon and that shit is moving quicker than it's supposed to move. The shit was, all type of shit was going on. So this is what I mean, where because I actually did what I saw and I made that a real reality that I can perceive, I became that. I became solo. That's who I became. Now I'm just doing it solo. I became that. And when I became that, and again, I got the videos. Go back to the videos I was making in 2015, and most of those videos is all about hip hop. It's all about graffiti. It's all about everything that I was doing. LSD, I was doing LSD. You know, I was going to Venice Beach. All that's already documented on my channel if you want to go back to those times. But I'm letting you know, when I tapped into that alternate reality, that's how I was gathering all of that information. That's how I was surviving. Because again, I didn't have no direction, no money, no plans. I just had a desire. That desire turned into a lifestyle. And when it turned into a lifestyle, it helped me gather more and more information and have more and more experience, which ultimately led me to understand what I understand now. You know, I was more open to drugs. Not dangerous drugs, but psychedelic drugs. So I started to understand the psychedelic experience, what it means to be under the influence of psychedelics and what's actually going on. Again, watch my video, you know, LSD. It's called something. Whatever. If you want to find it, you can find it. If if you want to look for it, it's there. So if you see my videos all in 2015, that is the manifestation of me following that thought. So that's what I'm saying. So all the videos you see of me that I did in 2015 was a manifestation of me following that desire to start spray painting solo. That turned into all the videos that was manifested in that year. That's what it is. So that's my personal proof of a parallel universe. Something that I saw in my dreams that I actually made a reality, and it brought to me a whole abundance of experience. That's I couldn't put a price on it. So with that being said, nothing more needs to be said. I'm not even going to title the fucking video. This video is I'll name this shit later, but I'm never going to name this shit. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm just going to keep it raw. Whoever sees it, sees it. Whoever don't see it, don't see it. You know what I mean? It's only for the chosen few anyway. So on that note, we're going to get up out of here. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody in the chat room, everybody watching. And I'm going to get at y'all later. You know what I mean? Peace, peace, peace. Hotep. Fuck the bullshit.